It's enough, I think. It's enough, I think.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Green Live Stream. I'm your host, Edie Arndell. So good to have you here. And I'm down below right there is Mr. Scott Free, which did this amazing graphic. And we, a lot of times you don't get to see it if you join us a little late, so we thought we'd put it up.
Yeah.
Did you want to talk about what everything is on here a little bit?
Oh, well, I always try to make the graphics fit the topic. So the Nobel War Prize that's what you get, I guess. It's this gold coin that you get when you get the Nobel Peace Prize. So I threw it on a tank because that's very appropriate. And then, demand ICE arrest. So I threw in the handcuffs, and then put that around the Nobel War Prize, and then general strike because we must shut it down. So
yes, we must
try to theme it all together.
Yes, we must shut it down because that's the only thing that's going to work at this point. We need triage, people.
Oh God, right.
I am. Emergency.
Mm.
Oh, and I wanted to talk about we put the thing underneath. So we have new T-shirts from National. Yeah, check them out.
They're great. They're really
they're
nice
super
design.
Cool.
Really nice design.
So I'll put the link in the chat before we get all serious.
Yeah, and we did call each other before for the wardrobe check. So yeah,
we did. We've been planning this for a week.
Planned. Yes, but thank you to National for giving us these shirts, and then we want to promote, and it really does bring up a subject that I am totally guilty of, and we're, the Green Party's in a weirdly unique situation where one of the big issues we have is people don't know we're out there, and so I know it's the right thing to do when you go out in public, wear that Green Party t-shirt, but I always forget. And then I get to an event and I'm like, oh crap, I'm not wearing Green Party. So I have to get that in my brain. But it's super important that we are visual out there because people need to know that we are out here and doing our work. So
we are doing the thing.
Yeah.
And I just realized I was mirrored. That's why our shirts didn't match up.
Oh, are they backwards?
Oh no, I was.
Well, but see, my 47th Street is backwards, so I don't know. So it might be backwards, but you won't get the t-shirt backwards if you order it. I trust us on that.
Unless you want to wear it backwards, we're fine with that too. Oh. And I added my pin. If you ever wondered what you would be doing.
Oh, there you go.
If you ever wonder what you would have done during slavery or Nazi Germany, you're doing it today. Free Palestine.
There you go. Yeah.
And at this point, free America.
Oh my God. Oh my God, no kidding. Oh my
God. So the first thing is Trump wants to be famous. He loves his fame, right?
So I wanted to show this particular graphic just because I don't know if it's conspiracy theory or the CIA just knows how to plan these things so well. But it's such a perfect setup. So they talked about, will Trump get the, Nobel Peace Prize? Well, he loses to this, what they said, Venezuelan politician, Maria Corina Machado. And sorry, I'm going to mispronounce. I'm terrible.
Sounds good.
But, so the liberals are going nuts. Yay, he lost, ignoring what's actually going on. And the sick thing about it is that the Nobel Peace Prize is being used as propaganda for a future war. And that's what's so sick. So this woman is a right-wing mess. She is fine with the U.S. sanctions on Venezuela, which starves the people of Venezuela. She wants a coup of the government. She wants Maduro out, and the plan will be to install her once. And so this Nobel War Prize was to get so that everybody knows her name right before they put her in. So it's just horrific. And yes, she did thank Trump when she got the award. So
well, it's just like Juan Guaido.
Yeah, exactly.
Tried that like 5 years ago.
Exactly. So so this was a nice little headline they changed. Venezuelan coup plotter wins Nobel Peace Prize. Yeah, so she's just a real mess. And the thing is, what's so awful again is that they set it up perfectly for the liberals so that they would cheer this because, Trump lost the Nobel Peace Prize.
Well, and because on the surface, it seems like a good thing.
Yeah, right. I mean,
boo Trump, yay Venezuela person. That's, not
when you
Trump.
find out the details, not so great. And she also was asking Netanyahu to come in and invade. I mean, she's just,
Wow, she doesn't like her people.
No, not at all. Not at all. And let me see if I can.
Thanks for clarifying. I think I even missed it. We do have a comment. Jason Wakeman, be seen being green.
There you
Wayne
go.
Turner, North Carolina.
All right.
Yeah,
yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Let me see if I can find it.
We're getting a collection of shirts.
Yeah, so this is from Power to the People. I love their posts on Twitter. The Nobel Peace Prize winner, Maria Corina Machado, is a stooge for the U.S. empire. She doesn't fight for democracy. She fights for handing over Venezuela and its oil to the U.S. dictators of capital. She also supports Netanyahu and has been praised by Trump. So, yeah, it's just... a really bad situation. And again, this is where it gets into conspiracy theory, but it scares me because just the day before, the candidate for New York mayor, Mamdani, calls Maduro a dictator, the Venezuelan leader, the day before. I'm like, God, I hope he wasn't in on this scheme. But I mean, a weird thing for the person running for mayor to say, and then the timing of it's creepy, but that's total conspiracy theory in my head. But let's just gross.
Say it's an interesting coincidence that needs to have some attention on it.
Ah, there you go. Thank you, Edie. Well, and then the other thing is that the Navy has surrounded Venezuela. All the military things are set up to go. So that's the other thing that's really scary, folks. Within probably on next week's show, we'll be talking about it.
Yeah. So when do we declare war on Venezuela? Bueller?
Right. Yeah. Right. I know. It's
yeah. So I did want to cover a little bit. This is from CNN or somewhere. So we're not going to show it because ads, you can't even see the content. It's crazy. But Donald Trump really is the biggest loser. We almost titled it that, but we, had a little conversation because, he's losing in the courts. The Trump administration repeatedly lost in court this week. A federal judge in California ruled that Trump violated the Posse Comitatus Act. Now I got to look into what that actually means. I think that's nationalizing troops. When he deployed federal troops to Los Angeles. A federal judge in Massachusetts ruled that Trump violated the law when he attempted to cut off federal funding to Harvard. The Court of Appeals for the Federal Circuit ruled that most of Trump's tariffs are illegal, and a panel of judges from the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals, the most conservative and reactionary appellate court in the country, which that's their language, not mine, ruled that Trump's targeting of Venezuelans was an illegal use of the Alien Enemies Act.
Yep.
So, and then you had this one. Sorry, I kind of lost the thread there, and you had to bring these up. But they accidentally bombed the Colombian boat instead of a Venezuelan. They're just like kill happy.
Yeah. So we are right. The president of Colombia, Petro, said that the latest ship bomb by the U.S. off Venezuela's coast was a Colombian vessel carrying Colombian citizens. Petro warns Trump has now triggered a war scenario in the Caribbean. This is no war against smuggling, Petro said. It is a war for oil and must be stopped by the world. And, it's interesting he used that term war scenario. I mean, I'm not the leader of a country who may get destroyed by the U.S. So I don't have to temper my words, but it's a weird phrasing, but I mean, I got to give it to this guy. He is really standing up. He's calling for folks to come together to invade Israel, to get an army together. So, got to love this guy.
Maybe that's where that comes from.
Yeah. Yep.
You know, oh, you're gonna stop what we're doing, making lots of money and killing lots of people and doing the most beautiful real estate deal ever made.
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly.
Bad Trump impression, but that's what they want.
We got
They
it.
want the
We got it.
oil. They want the real estate. They don't care who they have to hurt to get it. Same thing that's happening here. Not kidding.
Yeah.
And thank you, Kimmy, for that comment. Yeah. So, did you want to bring up the Trump canceled the 94 million pounds of food?
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, let me go click on it so I can just read it from my computer. Our producer is busy today, so we're winging it best we can.
You want me to put it up?
If you want, so people can read along. So this is from Ruth Talbot and Nicole Cruz from ProPublica. In the spring, the Trump administration abruptly cut $500 million in deliveries from a program that sends U.S. produced meat, dairy, eggs, and produce to food banks and other organizations across the country. About a quarter of the funding the program received in 2024, so that he cut it by 25%. The items that were delivered through the Emergency Food Assistance Program were some of the healthiest, most expensive items that the organizations distribute.
Yeah.
I don't know why they're worried about them being most expensive. So they're probably because they're the healthiest. You know, so
well, and it's also a timing thing. You know, it's produce that will be, you know, that only has a shelf life of a few days. So I mean, it just ruins
most a week.
Yeah.
Yeah. You gotta
right.
Pick it, ship it, get it there, boom, and serve it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know, our last two guests, LaShawn from Illinois Stewardship Alliance and Liddell from Feed 'em All, you know, they understand the need.
Right.
Apparently, Trump doesn't care if people starve. So that's why, you know, the email I sent this week was all about, you know, what happens in Gaza doesn't stay in Gaza.
The Illinois Green Party email.
Illinois Green Party. Sorry.
That's okay. Just.
Yeah. Yeah, I help write their email, or I write their emails, and then I get lots of help making sure they're decent.
And this article, by the way, was written by Ruth Talbot and Nicole Cruz. So try to give credit when we remember.
Yeah. So, you know, he doesn't care. He doesn't care if people in this country starve, American citizens. And you know what else he doesn't care about? You want to play Bazan?
Oh, okay. Hold on.
Or did you put it up yet? So I don't know if anybody, you know, I'm sure several of you, if you're following Gaza, have seen Bazan's posts.
Oh, well,
same one. That's okay. So she's press, and she's been there the whole time. She's inside Gaza, and she's still alive, but you know, she's been through hell. But she's asking for, you know, the ceasefire is one thing. It's something, but it's not enough. So, yeah.
Everyone, this is Bisan from Gaza. I am still alive, and finally I'm saying this sentence not as an update, but as a result. I am still alive. It's the 9th of October, 2025, and today is the official announcement day of the ceasefire. Yes, a ceasefire after 2 years and 2 days of an ongoing genocide, an ongoing mass killing that was live on cameras. Everyone is watching and no one could stop it. Anyway, yes, I'm optimistic that this will lead one day to a change, to the ultimate and most important change, which is a free Palestine, a free land where the Palestinians are living in dignity from the river to the sea, celebrating their freedom, their sacrifices, their heritage and culture, their history and future, deciding everything related to their being, to their existence, to their land. One day we will be there and look at this moment and see it as a step, not as a goal. Finally, we'll be able to think of tomorrow while like not saying maybe I will be alive, maybe I won't. But again, nothing is 100% accurate. This is to tell you that we must not be naive No one must engineer our happiness and engineer our feelings and our relief that finally children are not being massacred while sleeping. We only saw a face of the occupation and we switched this face, which is the genocide, and we stopped it, but we didn't finish the occupation. Palestine is still occupied. We don't have any authority, any sovereignty, any rights, any existence in the historical Palestinian lands, even now in Gaza. Just keep in your mind that everyone right now talking about the plan, the peace plan, and trying to work on it has been manipulating you and will manipulate you, and that this is only a ceasefire as a pause of the killing, and enjoy it. But keep working to stop this and to change this whole thing. Don't be manipulated by the system telling you that they will stop killing you. Stop killing us. It's even more basic than a basic right. This is not what are we after. This is not what we have been killed during the past years for. Okay? We are after a free land, a free will. We're not after not being killed.
Yeah.
We have the dignity of fighting until the end. This is a pause of the killing of the Palestinians. It's not what we want. It's not what we deserve after all of these sacrifices. My people deserves a freedom, a free Palestine from the river to the sea.
Yes.
Yeah.
And did you hear the planes?
Yes. Well, and the gross thing about, I mean, it's good. We got a little pause, although I know that Israel was bombing like crazy right up to the date. And then I think, they've already started bombing hours after.
Oh, yeah.
So I thought I had a graphic for that, but maybe not.
That's okay.
But yeah, it's, it is kind of gross.
Oh, you do. Hang on.
Okay. It is kind of gross when you think about, the people involved. Obviously, there's no goodwill happening in whatever this negotiation is happening. I mean, Israel will continue to kill. That's just the reality. That's been the reality since 1948. So, and I think we were talking about maybe including a Jeffrey Sachs thing, which we didn't, which was, a plan, maybe a better plan. The reality is the government of Israel has to be dismantled. It has to be dismantled. It can't exist. You can't have an ethno state that's just gonna, they're not gonna suddenly become peaceful. Kumbaya time ain't happening. No. So, yeah, it does have to be dismantled, but in a, similar to fashion to South Africa. But no, again, I also have to be super positive about this little pause thing because it gives people a chance, and they say that the humanitarian aid is now going to get in, so we'll see. And I also do believe, I think that the flotilla has put pressure on, and I'm thinking that that's why it's happening now, is because the flotilla was really putting the pressure on. So thank you to everybody involved in that.
Yes, and Greg Stoker is home safe now. I just saw an interview with him yesterday.
Yeah, they had a little video of his arriving in Texas.
Greta's home. Greg's home. Yep. I think almost everyone, but there was one guy that's still missing.
There is a Nigerian guy who's still unaccounted for. Yep. He must still be in their jail. We should have included that one too, and I forgot. I saw the graphic.
No, it's just so much to cover. We do the best we can, but we try to mention as many things as possible. Yeah. And I want to mention that we have an unusually low amount of people watching. So everybody that's watching, if you could please share with like 3 to 5 friends, that would be awesome. And I'm sure it's Facebook suppressing us. They don't really like us, but too bad.
Yeah.
Facebook and YouTube, just like not a thing. Yeah, so if you want to get the next one ready, I'll read Brian's comment.
Okay.
Israel is part of the U.S. It is our largest military CIA base in the world. They do things that we put them up to, so they take the blame.
Yeah, no, absolutely, Brian. Right. They are one and the same. Yeah.
They are very willing participants as well.
And, you know, it's true when you look at the parallels, you know, the U.S. has been killing since its inception too, right? Native Americans, the genocide of Native Americans. So, yeah, we are one and the same. We fund them completely. They would fall apart without our funding. I think we've got another. Yeah, we have more on that in the show.
Oh, yeah. The next thing was the WGN employee. So
Yes.
our next segment is all about what's going on with ICE in our country. And, you know, I was talking about in the Illinois Green Party email that I sent that, you know, it violates the Constitution completely. You know, unreasonable search and seizure and your right to due process is Amendment 4 and Amendment 5. And then this one is violating number 1. You can put it up?
Yep.
Oh, you got it.
For WGN, let them know.
I got you. Yep. Debbie Browning?
Brockman.
WGN. Do you guys want to share your names too, or I'm just going to cover your face?
Could cover your face a couple years. Real thing.
Okay, Mr. Condemnation.
Yeah. Oh my God.
This is ridiculous. Honestly.
Yeah.
Stop.
Good job. I hope you're proud of yourself. Fuck you.
Get out of
Nazi
our
fuck.
Hopefully your wife and children make it home.
What is this vehicle, honestly? Yeah.
Did they get the license plate of that guy?
I know, right? I mean, that's the thing. Everything about this is illegal. Everything about this.
She's with the press. They're in an unmarked van.
Right.
What's the probable cause for detainment?
Right. Wearing masks so that they don't identify who they are. Everything about this is illegal. I mean, I'm getting really angry at our damn state governments for not, you know, where's the Chicago police arresting these people for kidnapping? That's kidnapping. And deal with it in court, but arrest those people. I mean, it's so fucking, I get so angry at this shit. I mean, it's unreal. I need to turn on Channel 9 and see if they've I don't know what day that was. I actually have had the local news on. They haven't covered that.
They haven't covered it.
I have not seen it, right? Yeah.
It should be wall-to-wall coverage on
Right.
WGN.
Right.
That should be just being played on a loop 24 hours.
I know. Oh,
yeah,
we got a lot of really upsetting videos coming up, folks. I mean, this stuff is really horrible.
Hey, we got 3 more people watching, so keep spreading it. So thank you.
Yeah, thanks, folks. So even though I'm going to skip ahead to the Chicago police being tear gassed. No, we don't.
Oh, no. Do the alderman.
Well, I just want to do this one.
All right.
I'm just going to go a little out of order. It's ready to go.
I hate it when it goes out of order.
Here we go.
Understand! If your kid got you, they don't give a fuck about you either! Why are you protecting them?
And again, it's they're tear gassing the Chicago police. And where are the other Chicago police like arresting the people that just tear gas their own?
Well, it has to be because they've been told not to interfere.
Yeah.
Even though the public statement is, we're going to do everything we can. Where have you heard that before? We're working around the clock to get a ceasefire. Huh. We're doing everything we can from Pritzker. And then Dick Durbin and Tammy Duckworth came out when it was all nice and calm and ICE wasn't doing anything to deliver some water, saying they won't let us in. Well, demand your way in. What the hell do you mean they won't let us in? What do you mean? Demand it. You have a right to be inside of there. They're talking about the Broadview Detention Center.
Yep.
I don't understand why you're just like, oh, well, citizens and, even non-citizens,
Right.
You don't know what's happening to them, and you don't know if they're allowed to even be detained. So sorry, fail. You get the next one.
Yeah, the next
Oh
one
yeah.
is
So this is I didn't catch her name or their name. It's a Chicago
forgetting.
alderperson handcuffed by federal agents at a hospital asking about this person's civil rights.
You were going to be placed under arrest.
Do you have a sign?
getting their name to somebody in the
The
chat.
Alderperson who's being under arrest.
Oh, they're
I need my other
Justice
staffer who's
Fuente.
in the hallway by registration to come here, please.
I did not
Oh, no,
touch
that's-
you.
We told you to leave.
I did not
You're
touch
impeding.
you.
Now you're
I
under
did not
arrest for
touch you.
impeding.
I did
Thank
not
you.
touch you.
Where-
I asked you if you had a
Is
sign
Lisa
to
still out there?
issue a warrant for him. It is very simple. It is very simple. That man has constitutional rights.
And
I did
so
not
do
touch
they.
you. It is a public
So do
space.
they.
I am not trespassing. I am asking you. Do you have a signed judicial warrant? I am asking. Do you have a
Handcuffing
signed
somebody
judicial
for
warrant for
talking.
him? It is a question, sir.
Ma'am,
You are
we do
an
not need-
agent.
we do
You are
not
a federal
need-
agent.
We do not need a
You are a
warrant for
federal
somebody
agent. I
under
am an
arrest.
elected official, and I am asking.
I know. It's just unbelievable that they get away with all this stuff.
Mm. Yeah, you're right, Brian. Trump has committed more crimes this time, and Dems just mumble under their breaths. Yeah. Meanwhile, Bernie is working overtime, bringing in new rich college whites to the Dem party,
Well,
or
Also-
helping people of color to run for office so they can crush them later.
yeah, I mean, also, the Democratic Party is bringing in a lot of Palestinian folks to run because that's their cover for the fact that they did a genocide. So
And still not doing much to stop it. Like
So-
not using any power that they have. Our state right now is run by Democrats. They could be divesting from the Israel bonds, are they?
Right.
No. Michael Frericks? No, you're not, are you?
Right.
So this is why we keep saying they're in it together. And the only way out is to stop voting for them. You have to threaten their power. If you keep falling in line, they can ignore you. They have to worry about losing their job. But yeah.
Okay.
I can't remember that guy's name, but he talked about that. Lawrence O'Donnell talked about that. That's gone famous. It's been around for like 10 years.
Oh yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. The video,
So-
it is famous where he says the Democrats know they don't have to do anything. And he kind of brags about it. I mean, I can't remember where he worked in Congress for a while. But yeah, he just said they don't have to do anything because they know they're trapped there. I mean, they're not trapped there. They actually could go to the Green Party, but in their brains, they're trapped there. They don't think that they can.
Power concedes nothing without a demand. And that's funny, Kimmy, because that's what we're going to show next. We're going to show a little bit of that. I watched the whole thing, cherry picked some stuff, which I put in the show notes on YouTube and Facebook. But we want to definitely show this part because the show got really big today.
This is the status quo, right?
Status quo.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah. Which does amazing work. Thank you, Jordan Sheridan. you
I'll
make it
try to
big before
make
you
it.
start?
Yeah, I'll see. Yeah. Here we go.
There we go.
Thank you for your parting message to Governor Pritzker.
Just be out here. Show your face. We need a leader. And if you're the leader you say you are, and you've spoken eloquently and brazenly against Trump, but what does that mean? Is that a political ploy for your presidential run that we know you're going to do in 2028? Or will you be a true leader and be out here with us? Because that's what a true leader is they're out here with us, telling off the people you're supposed to be in charge of, state police and other things. If I'm not wrong that they're in charge of state police, I don't know.
Sean, thank you very much. I appreciate your time.
That's good.
Yeah, thank you so
Thank you
much.
for talking to
Right.
us.
I hope I wasn't rambling.
Yes, you were rambling.
And he's probably been out there all day. It's traumatic and yeah.
Teasing.
Yeah. So no, good point. Like, where's Pritzker? And he's in charge. He is right about that. He was in charge of he is in charge of the state police. He could be directing them to say, if you see ICE committing a crime, protect the person and then arrest the agent. And can you imagine if the police started intervening, what would happen?
And they
It
should.
would stop. They're supposed to protect us.
Right. Citizens of Illinois are being attacked. The police should be there to stop it and arrest those doing it. I mean, that,
Yeah. Oh, what's up, Joe? Joe's here. Ran into a former Green candidate running as a donkey.
oh,
Yeehaw.
yeah, isn't that a shame? Yeah. And unfortunately, there is a number of people in the history that started Green and became nightmares. The woman in the Democratic Party, what was her name? She was one of the two who always voted against everything.
I don't know.
Oh my God.
Anyway.
Somebody can help me in the chat. The two Democratic leaders who they always blamed through the last Biden
Kirsten
administration.
Sinema and Joe Manchin.
Kristen Sinema used to be in the Green Party. So yeah, people do betray. There's no doubt they do.
Yeah. And Joe Manchin's just in it for, he's West Virginia. He's in it for all they can get. Oh, yeah, she's Arizona Senate. Yeah. Yep. So we got more to show you. So here's the tear gas. They probably got the Chicago police.
Yeah. So sorry I put this on incorrectly, but we're going to go with it. ICE deployed tear gas on a crowded public street because they were upset at the traffic in Chicago. Yeah, they're not used to our traffic. A 2-year-old child required medical care after inhaling the chemical agents. They were in the car next to it. The local elementary school was forced to lock down for recess due to the presence of agents. People in nearby cars reported that the tear gas caused their ears, nose, and mouth to run after chemicals swept into vehicles, despite windows rolled up. Oh, that's right. It'll come through the vent system. Mm-hmm. The incident occurred close to Funston Elementary School in the Logan Square neighborhood of Chicago. So it's just, it's these people.
Yeah, and if I remember right, at that apartment building thing, that woman got interviewed. And she was going, hey, what are you doing with the kids? And an ICE agent replied, F those kids.
Right. Yep. That's when they brought the Apache helicopters down on the building on the south side of Chicago.
Yeah. Oh, God. So Illinois is under attack by the federal government. And what is the state doing about it? The state governments need to unite and say, what happened to states' rights? Yeah, Brian, she built off the Green Party, and she's not the only one. So did Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
Right. She built
her
helping
career off the Green Party.
Yep.
Once she got in the door, she's like, I got a good gig now, so I'm not going to mess it up.
This one's hard to, the next couple are hard to watch. So the priest is in black on the far right. So you see that he's just standing there. He's just standing there, and they hit him with something that explodes on his head, and he falls.
And how many times did you hear that? Like 8 times they shot at him?
Yeah.
Yeah. We have the right to protest. And, if you watch that status quo thing all the way through, that there's about an hour and a half in, the state police are kettling all the protesters. I'm sorry. The police should be protecting us so we can protest wherever the hell we want to.
Yeah. Now this one is in oh no, sorry.
That's okay. They should be defending our right to protest and making sure that we are safe. Not telling us where we can stand and what we can do. As long as we're doing it peacefully, they should be protecting us. And that's not been the case for how many years now? If ever?
So actually,
what's next
this
one?
one was shared by Lady Bunny, who's a Green Party supporter. Find them on the socials and like and share their work. Lady Bunny does excellent work. Drag performer out of New York. Let's see. What am I doing? I can't talk and work at the same time.
That's okay. Sorry.
Okay.
I was
Is it
reading
ready
the
to go?
comment.
Is it ready to go? Yes. Okay.
Yes, I think so.
And this one again, trigger warning, folks. This one's rough.
They created. Oh shit.
I mean, she's standing there talking. I
She
mean,
called him-
you know, they
sounded like
love.
She called him stupid, but you know.
I mean, they love to talk about how, you know, the protesters instigated something and then the police had to take action. These are very obviously, they are not doing anything. They're standing. They get attacked. I mean, that
was
pepper
Portland, I
spray,
believe, right?
pepper spray at that distance. I mean, that could be permanent damage to that person. That is brutal. Yeah, a friend of mine, they said they got pepper sprayed at close and like the skin around their eyes came off. I mean, if it's pepper spray, I'm just saying pepper spray, some kind of chemical agent, I don't know.
And then didn't we talk last week how the CBS reporter, they threw it at her car. She was just driving through. She wasn't even doing anything.
Right.
So, you know, get your copy of the Constitution. Kind of, I have one here somewhere. Yeah, and let's just start enumerating everything that they're doing wrong. And tell the big lie is their motto. You know, we have to break the bubble of mainstream media because it just serves the empire. That's all it does on both sides.
Yeah.
Because really, it's only one side money. Yeah. Where are we now? Let's see.
This is about ICE lying. I don't know. The other ones are so graphic. Do you want to still play this one or?
Yeah. If you put it in here, we'll play it.
All right.
We'll just keep going. People need to see what they're doing.
Believe a single word that comes out of ICE, DHS, or the Trump regime. They put out a press release claiming that 10 cars coordinated an attack on an ICE agent, and an ICE agent had to fire in self-defense to save his own life. Here's what really happened according to video and eyewitness testimony.
But Christopher Parente, Martinez's attorney, alleged in a court hearing Monday that another video taken from an agent's body camera shows an agent turn a federal vehicle into Martinez's vehicle and then say, quote, "Do something, b***." The agent then can be seen exiting the vehicle and shooting Martinez 7 times.
So video shows that there were not 10 cars, there were maybe 2. It also shows that they did not drive into the ICE agent drove into them. And it furthermore shows that the ICE agent himself taunted the US citizen, pulled out his firearm, and shot 7 rounds at her, hitting her. And then they had the audacity to arrest the US citizen for getting shot by the ICE agent. Literally everything the ICE agent said was false. And you know how else we know that it was all false? Remember how they claimed 10 cars attacked and ambushed them? Guess how many arrests they've made? None. None of those 10 cars that allegedly existed had anyone get arrested. Apparently, these were phantom cars driven by phantom people, and therefore they couldn't be arrested. Or ICE and DHS are lying fascists and should not be trusted.
Yeah.
That part.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
And I know that there's.
I don't even know.
Well, there's a couple of, they try to bring charges against in a number of different cases. And in every case, the grand jury threw it out. And we don't have details about the grand juries because those are, secret. They don't allow people in. But in every case, threw it out. So obviously nothing to stand on.
Well, this is why, we put it in our title, demand ICE arrests from our government.
Right.
They are attacking people outright. They've declared war on the American people. And we have our own National Guard. We have state police and we have local police, and they should be coordinating and protecting us, not helping them detain people illegally with no charges, no due process. Like, did they forget their oath?
Yeah.
I guess so. You know, just following orders didn't work for the Nazis. So that's why they're wearing masks. They don't want to be identified later because they know they're doing something wrong. If you were sure of yourself and you thought you were right, you would not be afraid to show your face, just like I'm showing mine now.
I wanted to show this where Chicago folks are coming up. They are forming watches near schools to protect students. So I think that is fantastic that they are doing that because it is so traumatic for these kids. I mean, they come in and, you know, we've been telling you the quality of the folks coming in, right? And they've been grabbing children at school. I mean, it's a horrific situation. So people are stepping up. They, you know, they are helping, trying to help as best they can.
Yeah, at least, you know, trying to stop it as much as they can, or at least, you know, document what's happening so they can do further action. So the next one happened at SIU here in Carbondale. What I know about it is TPUSA. It's a public college, so TPUSA, they had their little canopy and they had their table. I didn't see what happened directly before this video, but you know, there was a disagreement and there was papers on the ground. I didn't see how that happened. But what happens next is completely unacceptable. It's the Facebook one.
Yes.
Okay, I'll let you do it. Looks like you got a hold of it, maybe. Yeah, if you can make big, there you go.
Shit, I thought I had the volume.
On a legal basis, that would be an instigation. You would get one who would be arrested. You already getting the problem. Shit. I'm not a fan of Turning Point USA, but I'm at least talking to them. Enough. Get out of here.
Dude! You shut the fuck up! What the fuck are you gonna do, huh? She came over here, met me an hour later. Yeah, you got thrown around! Shut the fuck up. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So this is what Trump is, you know, it comes from the top, setting an example. He's sending his ICE agents out, and, you know, as we discovered through the Charlie Kirk stuff, that Turning Point USA has 3,500 chapters across the country. Yeah, so now they're going to start attacking students. Is that what's going to happen?
And speaking of TPUSA, Turning Point, I wanted to show this because it's such a great example of how in the way you do propaganda is you take from the other side and you try to flip it. So here is them trying to flip the military industrial complex. So
is that one, the Antifa?
Yes. So it's the outline how Antifa and the homeless industrial complex are working hand in hand. I just had to share it. Homeless industrial complex. Oh yeah, it's a real organized system where we plan to put homeless people in different places and work together to, I mean, what the fuck are they talking about? Homeless industrial complex. I had to share that one. I thought it was just
I don't even know what the heck they're talking about.
It's just that they use
there
the
are
term.
Organizations that try to help the homeless.
Yeah,
but,
that's
you know,
not what we're talking about.
Brian Kilmeade said that they all should be forcibly detained or killed.
Yeah.
So it's no accident they're attacking people that don't like fascism, which is not really a group. It's an idea. It's not a group of people. It's an idea, which I'm kind of feel like is valid. Who likes fascism? Nobody should, right? And, you know, attacking the most vulnerable in our society. I mean, if anybody has ever watched The Handmaid's Tale, there's a scene in there where they're just like grabbing people and, you know, the mentally ill, or not mentally ill, handicapped, and people with like Down syndrome, and, you know, people that can't, you know, they're undesirable at this point to the state. So they just taking their stuff and just throwing it, and, you know, they killed them all in The Handmaid's Tale. And if this doesn't wake you up and get you off your ass, I don't know what will. We are under threat and we have to get together and make it stop because our governments are not responding, just like they're not responding to the flotilla.
So up next, we have really, really good analysis by two of my favorites, Brianna Joy Gray and Max Blumenthal. And they do kind of take a deep dive.
Brianna Joy Gray, Bad Faith podcast, and Max Blumenthal from the Gray Zone do excellent work.
The real question, which is, if you wanted to win so badly, and if you're such a pragmatist, what do you make of the polls which show that the number one reason that Biden 2020 voters didn't vote for Kamala in 2024 was Gaza? If you're such a pragmatist, why are you arguing that in the 3 states where abortion rights outperform Democrats, we should run more anti-choice Democrats? If you're such a pragmatist, right? Because the whole grift is painting what a neoliberal agenda, which I think is the agenda that Ezra Klein sincerely believes in. That is his ideological commitment that he won't admit to. He has to dress it up as though, well, these are hard choices that I'm making that I don't want to make. The title of Hillary's book, remember, Hard Choices, but I have to because it's pragmatic. So they'll stick the pragmatic label on things that aren't actually politically expedient while ignoring a whole avenue of politics, class politics, economic populism, anti-war movement that are actually popular and would be politically advantageous because they don't align with their broader political goals. And that is why, to me, although all that you're saying that's critical of Coates is largely true, I gotta still side with him in the context of this debate, because at least he was open to the idea, or at least alluded to the idea of exploring these other avenues to victory that I think are frankly much more likely to be successful for the Democratic Party.
Yeah, it's just a very narrow framing of the debate. Like, the debate is framed strictly along culture, or largely along cultural lines, and doesn't address the real fundamental problem with the Democratic Party, which is a fundamental problem with the American economic system. And so there should be no debate about the debate. There should be a critique of the similarities between the participants, and that it's sort of a pseudo debate like the 2008 primary contest in the Democratic Party between Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama, where it was, should we address sexism or racism? But let's not address what just happened to this country, which is everybody, just the whole working class got destroyed in the financial crash and the housing crisis and the Iraq war. Those are two very uniting factors that almost came together in 2016 with Bernie Sanders that could have prevented a Trump presidency.
Yeah.
Trump spoke to it. And so the debate was basically about nothing. And it was a debate that could have taken place in Davos, but it took place in the New York Times.
Do you think that we, on some level, in the absence of a genuinely left candidate, or like a more like a less financially compromised candidate than Roe might end up being, go ahead and throw a lot behind him because he's better than the alternative, lesser to evil style? Should the left be supporting third-party candidates? Do you think that, we should be trying to get ourselves together and run a genuine left sort of insurgency within the Democratic Party on the Democratic ticket so they can be in the debate stage and all of that stuff?
I think that we should, first of all, dispense of the idea of the left, because I don't totally understand what it is anymore.
Why do you say that?
There are these general principles of class and war that we should all agree on, and that many people who don't identify as leftists would agree on.
Sure.
And that you're not allowed in the Democratic Party to advance any policies that would materially change the established rules on class and war.
Yeah.
So I see history accelerating from now until the midterms may change things internationally. I mean, one of the reasons Israel's rushing towards war with Iran is they're afraid Trump will begin to lose control after the midterms. And so they have this window. But up until 2028, they're going to be a series of wars. The financial situation in the U.S. is going to continue to worsen. And we will I think we'll still be witnessing genocide in some form or another in Gaza. So all of the issues that exploded into the open in the Democratic primary in 2024 and at the Democratic convention, it's going to intensify. It's also going to be present in the Republican Party because of the trends we discussed with that, like colored Charlie Kirk's final days. The conservative grassroots is moving away from the kind of neoconservative George W. Bush coalition on these issues. And so there are points of unity there. We're going to see the bipartisan duopoly just increasingly discredited by 2028. So there is room, I think, for running primary candidates in congressional races, at least to get a platform. But there also has to be a block of people within the, whatever you want to call it, the left, the progressive base, willing to walk away on these core issues. And I think challenging Zionism it's not a boutique issue. It's such a core issue that goes to the heart of financial and political and military power and the way that it's misappropriated in the United States, that it's worth walking away.
Yeah.
And right to the Green Party. But yeah, I mean, again, it's weird how what they're doing is correct. It is weird how he said, well, they could primary people to bring up issues. Okay, but that's still putting your faith in a party that will never let any of those happen. So that's the weird part about what Max just said. But his conclusion is correct. A bloc needs to leave. That is absolutely the case.
Yeah.
And we're trying to convince people. And I'm not the best convincer. I'm pretty bad at that. And people actually just end up hating me. So, but Edie's good at that. So listen to Edie. She's got a better convincing
I do my
argument.
best. I mean, if genocide and troops in the street is not your red line, I don't know what is.
Well, the problem is with the troops in the street, that can certainly be their red line, except they're not willing to recognize that the Democratic politicians set that up with increased ICE funding, with all the Democratic-led cities doing cop cities to get them to turn our police into militarized police. So that's the issue, is they still think once Trump's gone, it's fine. And that ain't the case. It just isn't. They're not screaming about Venezuela, any foreign war that we get into. I mean, they'll even praise Trump at times when he'll bomb something.
Yeah.
I remember when they praised him for bombing Syria. So, nope.
Well, because people aren't making the connection, and I think there's another 2-minute clip.
Yes.
I believe that Max talks about that a little bit.
Okay.
You got to make the connection. What happens out there ends up happening in your neighborhood, and I guess YouTube is censoring us because Brian said tried to share us and it goes to a blank page.
Oh, yeah, that wouldn't surprise me.
So it must mean we're doing something right.
Yeah. Okay, let me try. I'll probably get a commercial because I skipped ahead, but let's see.
The Republicans have that. That's how the Christian right got power in the Republican Party. They only represent 10 or 12% of the American public, but they're always willing to walk away unless they get some judges who will do their bidding. That's why they were willing to work with Trump, who is accused of, not exactly traditional morality. They don't care. They care about power. So that's what the left needs to do here, is be completely principled and willing to walk away if you don't get what you want. And I know it's a hard thing to do. I mean, it is traumatic to live through this second Trump term.
Yeah, you raise a lot of, first of all, I completely agree word for word with everything you said. I mean, you're very much preaching to the choir. And I think you raise a really important point that the vote blue no matter who pressures are going to be turned up to 300% because of how bad Trump is. As I have been making the case that people need to leave the Democratic Party leading up to 2024. You know, one thing that people have said to me and are still kind of yelling at me in my mentions is like, you said you denied that Trump was going to be worse. And like, look how bad everything is now. And I said, au contraire. My argument is that Trump is going to be bad. Trump is worse. Trump is bad. And therefore, if you want to stop him, you need to listen to our demands if you want us to actually join this party. Like, not me personally. I live in DC and I'm not voting for Dems. But generally speaking, you should be aware of the fact that there are a lot of people for whom genocide is a red line. And you're going to lose if you don't correct on this issue. And it's not, if anything, you should be thanking me for trying to ring the alarm bell, not castigating me for saying the true thing about Kamala Harris. And this is another thing that I will compliment Coates on in this interview. When they're having this conversation about what their roles are, Ta-Nehisi Coates is like, I'm not exactly sure. You know, I don't know exactly what the answers to every question are, but I know that my goal is to tell the truth. My role is to tell the truth, not to fit it into some sort of messaging strategy to help Democrats to win. I understand, you know, that me supporting reparations and wanting Obama to support reparations might not have been politically feasible to him. I understand that FDR maybe had to make compromises that cut Black people out of the New Deal benefits in order to pass it. Like, I understand all of that. But if I were a journalist at the time, I would report on what the truth is, which is that he should have done it. Like, but that's not a good thing to do, that Black people need X, Y, and Z, that, you know, et cetera. And that's, that resonated with me. That resonated with me. And to the extent that the truth is uncomfortable or inconvenient, there was a real easy option for the Democrats, which was to support an arms embargo against Israel, which is the one thing that Kamala Harris was incredibly clear that she would not do.
Yeah, well, it's not an easy option because you could possibly be assassinated, and you certainly will be deprived of large amounts of donations, which is why you can't be supporting a Democrat who depends on large donors. You're never going to get what you want.
Boom.
It's going to be.
Sorry.
Yep.
You're never going to get it.
And it's absurd to think that you're going to work in the Democratic Party without the big donors. I mean, that's not going to happen. So it's, again, and one thing I'll disagree with Max a little bit on that is just that they actually, on this right side of the world, they had it easy because Trump stayed in the Republican Party. How many of them would have gone along with him and fought if he had left? Because there was that period when he was talking about leaving. And so it's easier to stay in the system. It just is. Yeah. I've asked my relative who's MAGA, you know, well, would you leave the Republican Party if Trump left? And no, that's so they have it a little easier. Our ask is more to let go of something you've clung to for a long time, the Democratic Party. But
well, and we've talked about that before. It's kind of like a messy breakup, you know. You believed in them, you trusted them, and the evidence is stacking up, and you still just can't quite believe it because you think that's your only hope.
And I get that people are paid. I get that. People pay for these posts. They get paid to post these things. But because you're sitting there saying, how dumb can these people be? Now they're going to go for the next person past Fetterman. Fetterman wasn't enough of as an example of he's going to be the great progressive leader and he's the Zionist nightmare. I mean, how many examples do you folks need? But again, for you out there who are not getting paid, how many examples do you need that the Democratic Party is never going to give you anything? Ever.
Yeah. Yeah. They talk. And like I said earlier, you know, our two Illinois senators went to Broadview, didn't demand to be let in, didn't bring anybody with them, dropped off some cases of water, got some photo ops, and left.
And voted for bombs for Israel.
And voted for genocide.
Right.
Over and over.
Yeah.
So if you want to get the next clip ready, which is
Danny, iPhone.
Yeah.
Okay.
Netanyahu just attacked America. And I'll look at the comments here. So Joe made a good comment. I'm trying to find it. Where'd it go? Jill was talking about there may not be midterms because that is part of what Project 2025 here it is. It's talking about.
Yeah, I know.
That might be why the troops are in our streets. So
Yes.
they can intimidate people
absolutely.
from coming out to vote, even if you're a citizen, because you might get arrested. They're arresting them at the courthouse, trying to, do what they're told and come in because they have, a court date. They're arresting them there outside of the court system.
And I will apologize, as I apologize on every show, for saying that Project 2025 was just a plant for the Democrats to. No, that one, I was wrong about that one. Absolutely. Project 2025. And yes, absolutely. That is the plan. And I think it was at a meeting with Zelensky, where Zelensky and Trump are sitting there, and it was Zelensky who said, yeah, I had to declare martial law and I canceled elections. And he's like, oh, you canceled election? I mean, Trump could be really obvious in the moment. He goes, oh, you canceled elections? so yes, that is definitely what he's doing. He wants chaos so that he can call the Insurrection Act and martial law and cancel elections. Totally agree with that.
What's up, Lewis?
Oh, okay.
Tammy Duckworth has voted yes on every military bill since she's been elected.
Yep. And Democrats claim they're anti-war. Well, not if you vote for the people who are doing this. Tammy Duckworth is pro-war. I mean, that's one thing that really freaks out liberals is when you tell them they're in a right-wing party and they're right-wingers. Well, you vote pro-war, so what? I mean, that's pretty right-wing.
We have 2 pro-war, 2 pro-genocide parties, and we have a whole bunch of other ones that aren't.
So that means 2 right-wing parties.
We are now the 3rd largest. I looked it up a while back. We have 250,000 members in this country. Despite all the propaganda, despite all the ways, I mean, they're censoring us up right now, because we're Green Party and they don't like our message. Despite all that, still got 1 million votes. And
you are a right-wing party if when you get into office, you can't even pass $15 minimum wage. You can talk all you want. You talk all you want. Your actions are right wing. A parliamentarian stops you. That means you never wanted it in the first place. You're a right wing party. We got 2 of them.
Excuses. That's all you got. So Brian said, talking about TPUSA, which I agree, that's a possibility, but his Medicare was canceled, or his Medicaid, maybe.
Okay.
Medicare, maybe it's, I think he's Florida. My private insurance is now $369 a month.
Yeah.
That's unsustainable.
Oh God. I paid so much for health insurance. Oh God. It's brutal. It's absolutely brutal. Yeah. And right. They don't do anything. And especially when the Democrats are in power, man, are they silent about universal health care. And again, Biden vowed to veto it. He vowed to veto it. And these people are screaming at you because you're not voting for Biden. He vowed to veto Medicare for all. Hey, Kalia, how you doing? Kalia? Hey. And Kalia is going to be our guest host next week on Green Livestream News of the Week.
With
so,
me.
Hey.
We're mixing it up.
Yeah. And so while Kalia's here, let's have everyone go to YouTube. You can do it on your, you got to have a computer and a phone at the same time, and head over to Green Party T on YouTube and subscribe, because Kalia needs 50 subscribers to be able to go live. They made up, I don't know when they came up with that rule, but that's stupid. But
I'll
yes,
find it and put it in the chat if you want to play the next thing.
Okay. Oh yeah. So right. So this is Danny Haifong, and yeah, it's pretty good analysis of what's happening. Let me get it going here.
If I can even find it.
Benjamin Netanyahu has been incredibly desperate looking of late. We had the UN debacle where he essentially spoke to an empty room during the UN General Assembly. And then after this, he was caught talking to social media influencers, particularly TikTokers, on Israel's essential plan to take over this media outlet for its benefit. I just want to play a bit of this.
But we have to fight with the weapons that apply to the battlefields in which we're engaged. And the most important ones are the social media. And the most important purchase that is going on right now is class TikTok. TikTok, number one. And I hope it goes through because it can be consequential. And the other one, what's the other one? That's most important. X. That's very good. And so we have to talk to Elon. He's not an enemy. He's a friend. We should talk to him. Now, if we can get those two things, we get a lot. And I could go on other things, but that's not the point right now. We have to fight the fight, okay? To give direction to the Jewish people and give direction to our non-Jewish friends or those who could be our Jewish our friends. Are we going to succeed with everyone? No. Will there be a strong counterpoint? Yes.
This whole sale of TikTok is, for Israel, a hugely important component of it waging a more effective war, because what essentially Netanyahu is also ceding there is he says fighting with the sword isn't very effective. We've seen hundreds of thousands of Palestinians be killed by essentially Israel and U.S. and UK-backed sword, but it's not effective. What's needed is TikTok and social media and the rest to be taken over.
So Netanyahu's made a stunning self-indictment as usual, without meaning to. But the whole concept of the takeover of TikTok was based on a false premise that the Chinese were stealing the data of, American teenagers who were doing like dance acts on TikTok and hot takes and whatnot, viral videos, totally fake. That was engineered to get us under Joe Biden's administration. It began and continued under Trump. So you can see the bipartisan U.S. Congress and Senate working on behalf of Israel. So it was totally disingenuous. There was no Chinese threat on TikTok. And what you have now, you can see the end game of it. And so Israel's soft power has tanked, basically. It's not only tanked in the West, but it's also tanking among even the Jewish diaspora or the international Jewish community. They can no longer rely on the promise that Israel is the safest place on the planet for Jews to have a homeland, etc. And a lot of that can be held at the feet of Benjamin Netanyahu.
Yeah. And Kalia is leaving TikTok and coming to YouTube. So that's why we're also trying to get folks to subscribe to her channel. Because, yeah, TikTok is it's going to be horrific. I mean,
it's going to be Zionist Central.
Yeah.
Wow. So I'm going to put this in the chat if I can get to it here. This is Kalia's channel. Please go like, subscribe, and share her as well. Hopefully it went in there. Yeah, and I looked up Green Party Tea and didn't come up. So
Oh, really?
Oh yeah. And that happened to us like about a month ago. I typed in green live stream and it was all kinds of stuff, but it wasn't us.
Oh God.
Even though I search it every single week, twice a week.
Yeah, right. It's in your computer already. Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Do you want me to continue this? You have a second segment here.
Yes, please.
I would like to. Okay.
The other thing that I think is interesting is how he appropriated the term woke right. Woke right. And where that term originated from is interesting. In the aftermath of October 7th, and you had Ben Shapiro and other sort of Zionist mouthpieces flooding social media, warning of all sorts of, day of rage, Islamic sleeper cells are going to rise up and so forth. Even Charlie Kirk himself was trafficking in those same, that same sort of hysteria in the United States. And people were pointing out that if you define wokeness, or as the right does, they define wokeness as the kind of rabid, out of control identity politics. Well, there is no higher form of identity politics than Zionism. This has to be the top level of the conception of identity politics. For an ethno-state or a religious state, exclusive religious state running an apartheid system, that can only be described as identity politics writ large. So that's where the term originally woke right came from, was to describe people like Ben Shapiro, and then the Fox News crowd, the Jordan Peterson crowd, the Daily Wire crowd, then repurposed it, reappropriated it to point at people on the right that were opposing Israel's genocide, you see. So it was a bit of a sleight of hand, and you can see Netanyahu is attempting to do this 2 years on, which is quite pathetic, actually. And the real irony, of course, of that is that identity politics is the thing. This is the most weaponized form of identity politics in human history, is Zionism, the Zionist ideology. And they're using it as a weapon in order to try to justify one of the worst crimes against humanity of not just the modern era, but I will say one of the worst of all time, is certainly in living memory. So I think the irony of that is quite amazing. I mean, you could go on, but the bottom line is, and Naftali Bennett, former Israeli prime minister, said it the best. He was decrying the fact that they had blown 120 or 150 million trying to buy influence across social media platforms post October 7th, and we're being outnumbered by pro-Palestinian posts 16-1. 16-1. And I'll tell you, Palestine didn't spend any money to get that margin of victory in terms of hearts and minds across social media.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that. Thank you. Absolutely. We're not getting paid for our free Palestine posts.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. No, that was excellent. Excellent.
Kalia says this is exactly why I'm leaving TikTok.
Yeah, right. I mean, it's yeah. I know that they've said, I've heard in a couple different places, they're also going to really target Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens because they come from the right wing, and yet they, on this issue, they get it and they are speaking out. So
because they're terrified that, we will agree on something as a people and then they're done.
Yeah.
They know it, so you want to play that Instagram?
Okay.
Influencers YouTube from the gray zone.
All right. This
was a little confusing. I thought it was a joke. I thought it was supposed to be tongue in cheek, but it's not.
Okay. Well, the first one is a woman that's supposedly on one of the flotilla boats. So let's start with this one.
Well, isn't she wearing the Star of David though?
Well, she's supposedly infiltrated the flotillas.
Oh, okay.
So she was supposedly secretly got on the boat.
Yeah, like they're not going to know who you are.
Yeah.
Come on.
Well, anyway, this is Gray Zone has two different pieces of influencers. And the reason they're bringing this up is because either it was a leak, I'm not sure, but they announced, when they talked about how much money they're spending on influencers, and they were specifically had 20 to 30 influencers. So they just did the math, and it comes down to, was it 7,000 a post or something? And so this is them showing two examples of these influencer posts. So let me get this going here. 117.
Oh, I just wanted to say my good friend Joni Weber's in the chat, and she just subscribed to the Green Party Tea.
All right.
Thank you for that, Joni. Yeah, got a lot of views on the Palestine protests, like 500 views. So it's going to be a big channel. You're going to want to watch it.
Okay, here we go.
Israel to lobby more easily.
So we don't know for sure who these 14 to 18 influencers are, but should we look at two possible, I would say, likely candidates?
Two likely candidates, and some of the most alienating, repulsive. Hasbara is about to drop in 3, 2, 1.
Imagine supporting people who start wars just to lose the wars so they can cry about it and then try it all again.
You must see anti-Semites are literally obsessed with Jews. Now walk with me. While you musty anti-Semites are stacking eviction notices, Jews are out here stacking up businesses.
Jews control all the industries. Maybe if you spent more time taking notes from successful people, you wouldn't have to spend your nights and weekends spreading hate from your anonymous account with an anime profile picture.
Do you work as hard as Jews? Do you network like Jews? No, because you're too busy cheering on a group of musty terrorists who smell like dirty earring backs. And if we're gonna keep it real, you're really mad because your income is giving side hustle.
Period.
How you gonna hate from outside, Shabbat? You can't even get in.
Okay, so I did them out of order. That was
No,
number
that's
2.
okay.
But yeah, it's
But
so bizarre. And I think you know what? I should play a little more because they do.
Oh, do the
say-
other one was at 109.
Yeah, but let me play a little more.
It reads like a parody, like they're just trying to parody the most obnoxious Israel supporters possible, but actually they're real. These are real people.
They're real people.
Thinking they're doing Israel's bidding.
Yeah, I mean,
Wow.
right? It reads like parody. It's kind of I can't even fathom who is going to get that, and it's just bizarre. It's bizarre.
Right.
Oh my god! I
Nobody's
wanted
like,
to-
Jesus, WTF? Like, right?
What?
At first, I was confused. I'm like, are they talking about themselves?
I know it didn't make any
And I'm
sense.
like, is this supposed to be funny?
It's such a
And then I
mess.
found out it was serious. I'm like, now I'm really confused. Like, do you guys believe this stuff, or are you just like cashing your bank account?
Oh yeah, no, right. They can't. I mean, it's so weird what people will do for money.
They are caricaturing
Right.
themselves.
And they think they're like serious. Yeah. Anyway. Okay. So we're going to show the other one.
I don't think I saw this part. So
Yeah. So this is
109
somebody,
something, yeah.
you're supposed to think that she's on a flotilla.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is, but
Who's done a lot of human rights work in Bolivia. We just interviewed him. The interview is on our YouTube channel, and it's due to be intercepted possibly by tomorrow. This is like a conveyor belt, and it's continually exposing the siege. It is a great tactic.
Sorry.
And we'll continue following that.
Well, should we look at just some of the PR blunders that Israel went through to try to counter the flotilla, like the influencer they set onto one of the boats?
Yeah, where is that?
I got it here. Here it is.
Hi, everyone. It is Lizzie Savetsky. I'm reporting to you live from Greta's flotilla, where 44 boats were intercepted yesterday, allegedly bringing aid to Gaza. Let's go inside. I'll give you a tour.
Yeah. Say hi to Greta.
This is a weird outtake from American Tail. Fievel has been recruited by Israel's Hasbara brigades. This is the Yacht Rock outtake.
Margarita machine and some empty bottles. Let's go
And the
down.
orange yeah. Oh, never mind. Keep going.
See, you know,
Okay, what's funny? Should we talk about those empty bottles?
Yeah, let's go back.
I like
do
how
some,
it's
like,
two faces next
Can
to
we
each
like
other.
zoom in? Is it possible? Okay, well, just look. If you're at home, just look right under. Her name is Lizzie Savetsky. And look right under her left arm, and you can see Hebrew writing, a Hebrew label on the orange juice next to the margarita machine. How did the flotilla, Sumud Freedom Flotilla passengers get Israeli orange juice in Europe on their way to Gaza? How did they get it? Like, did a drone drop it on their ship?
Yeah, I mean, look, even if somehow that Hebrew orange juice was available in Europe, do you think a global flotilla challenging the blockade would buy an Israeli product? It's just they're so lazy with their propaganda that they're so entitled that they think they can just plant a Israeli product on a boat and think that they can get away with it because they have so much contempt for their audience too. They think everyone are so stupid and so malleable because they have a history of getting away with some of the worst crimes in human history. So I guess why wouldn't they think that about a global audience? But for anyone with their eyes open, you can see, and people have zoomed in and shown that the literally the juice on the boat is in Hebrew, and they talk about condoms and margarita machines.
Yeah, here we go.
I see a bed, I see some of the same things that I saw in the encampments on the college campuses. No aid. It's so weird. All I see is some condom wrappers, drug paraphernalia, needles. No aid.
Needles.
We've given the pro-Hamas.
Yeah, so people are shooting heroin on the really. I mean, like, this reminds me, like, remember when there was that video from like a pro-Palestine protest, and there were two guys with keffiyehs around their faces, and they were screaming, we will do October 7th 1,000 more times. It was obviously Jewish guys. They pretended to be.
Where's my inhaler?
Yeah, it's another going with the flotilla members shooting up at sea.
Okay.
Pretty sure that's not what was happening because they were filming constantly.
Well, it's just funny that those are the things they want to try to discredit, freedom fighters for.
Yeah,
It's
they're
just
not
so
even good
funny.
at it.
Oh, look at
I'm glad they're
condoms.
not good at it.
They have sex. It was great. I just say, I wanted
Well,
to
and it's
joke
kind of like the other one. They're projecting what they do.
Yeah, there you go.
Not saying that girl necessarily does that, but that's what she thinks of when she thinks of a party. This is a party boat. This is what you do at a party, well, maybe you, but not anybody I know.
I mean, it's it's classic. It's just one, but they'll try. But I think that Danny was right. This is desperation.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Kalia is like, it's so hard to agree with Candace or Marjorie on anything. It feels like I've abandoned all my principles. And I commented back. I said, where there's agreement, there's hope.
Yeah. I mean, if somebody gets an issue right, they get the issue right. That's the thing, But I know they're nightmares
Yeah, if
in
we
other
can
ways.
agree on one thing, we can have conversations about everything else, and things could change. Just saying. When we just shut our ears to people and don't talk to them at all, that's when nothing can happen. You have to have a conversation and point out when they're wrong.
And it also points to their actual independence. Candace knows what's at stake. She knows the attack. I mean, she's been getting the attacks, so she knows what's at stake. So she is acting independently on her own principles and morals to say these things. So yeah, she's messed up in other areas, but yeah, maybe this will also help her to get a little straightened out in those other areas because she's recognizing the system and that the system wants to destroy her, for being honest. So
Just want to say hi to Hugh Richardson. Hello, first time viewer. Thanks for being
here. Thanks for coming. So Edie, I'll let you decide which else we're going to cover because
I know we're running out of time. So I'm going to put the link for the shirts in. Maybe briefly, the America is overdue for a general strike.
Okay. And
I'll just read the first paragraph. This is from SharePost and AJ Schumann from inequality.org. May Day 2028 will be the defining moment of our generation. This was a quote from United Auto Workers President Shawn Fain, declared in a recent Jacobin essay. That date, when the UAW contracts at the big three auto manufacturers are set to expire, has emerged as a target for the activists hoping to orchestrate a massive strike across industries in the United States, more commonly referred to as a general strike. General strikes involve workers across multiple sectors shutting down production simultaneously. The strategy is simple but effective. Disrupt routine services until workers' demands are met. And that's great. However, I would say, that's all I'm going to read that. I would say Shawn Fain supported Kamala.
Yeah. Sean has some real questionable, right?
Like I'm mad about you. A and two. Two, he's only talking about workers' rights. He's not talking about solidarity against the war machine, which it has everything to do with, why we don't have rights, because they spend the money on that. This is why the clampdown is happening on us, because we want to free Palestine. And people are waking up. Workers' rights, absolutely, but it's bigger than that. So don't wait for 2028. Let's do it as soon as possible.
Right.
Yeah,
and
says, why would we wait?
And we've also discussed on this show why Italy is having successful general strikes, because of the unions. So if Sean Fain were to be out there saying, okay, we're going to shut it down for Palestine, I'd be all on board. I'd be like, let's go. But the leaders of our unions are not there. And there's a reason they're not there, because they've been paid off and they've been controlled. And, you know, they are part of the Democratic Party machine for the most part, too. So that's, you know.
Lewis Gordon says, holy crap, what? Wish I could screenshot you all. On 294, there was a billboard about Dick Durbin supporting Trump.
Wow. Well, you know, I'll look around on Google, try to find that. Yeah, 294. I just wonder, you know, he's certainly supported our Secretary of State. He, you know, stood next to him, did the photo op. What's the nightmare's name?
I blocked them out. It's like rotating villains. Like, yeah.
But anyway, yeah. I mean,
is that Handcuffed? No, that's
no.
Okay.
Marco Rubio.
Oh, God.
Yeah. So yeah, Dick Durbin's a nightmare. He's an absolute nightmare. But yeah, I'm gonna go try to find that. Thank you.
And he's retiring, so he has no reason to be sitting on his hands.
Yeah, right.
What has he got to lose? He made his money. He's got a cushy retirement. Yeah. He has nothing to lose but his reputation. But do you understand what would happen if people saw you out there in front for Palestine now? Do you even know?
No, that's the thing. And we talked about that along, you know, for a while. The path through the Democratic Party is it's such a path of selling out and corruption that any leaders in the Democratic Party, I mean, they're just horrific. And it's sad to see that, you know, everybody can just watch Mamdani going in that path. Here we go. You know, ugh, I wish people would get off the train. Get off the train, folks.
Yeah, I know everybody celebrated. They were excited. But how many times are we going to fall for this okie doke? Just saying. Come on.
Right.
We had a lot more to cover, but we don't want to keep everybody forever. The Last American Vagabond had an article about how American tax dollars prop up Israel's zombie economy.
Yeah.
You know, and then
let's go BDS. Let's go. Because Israel has to fall apart. That's the reality, people.
Yeah.
You know, it's not going to be anything but a murderous nation. It just isn't. That's what it's dependent on. So
anytime a population thinks they're better than a different population, there's your problem.
I know. Right. That is a problem. Can't have an ethno state in 2025. Come on. Ugh.
And then we had a lot of stuff about AI data center processing, which is, you know, that's the new front. They're going to steal our resources. But I do want to cover two more things if we can.
Okay. Yeah. No.
Caitlin Johnstone, they can't arrest us all.
Okay.
It's usually a video, but I'll just read part of it. So she's talking about the global Samud flotilla and Greg Stoker, but she says, my favorite thing about the Gaza flotilla activism we've been seeing is that it's a glaring reminder that ordinary people really can just go up against the machine, and that the more there are, the harder it is to stop them. It took Israel more than a day to abduct all the activists on the largest wave of boats because there were so many of them. A significantly greater number would probably have seen some ships land on the Gaza shore. Everything about our society is geared towards stopping us from noticing this dynamic. Our education system, our political system, our media, our online information, religions that have been around for thousands of years because the powerful endorsed and promulgated, I'm not good at that word, them are full of passages extolling the virtues of obedience, poverty, meekness, and rendering unto Caesar's what is Caesar's. From the moment we are born, our heads are filled with stories why it's good and right to consent to the status quo, and why it would be wrong to take back what has been stolen from us by a predatory ruling class. This is why we're always inundated with messages about the importance of civility and politeness.
Right.
Anytime people realize that they can simply confront corrupt officials in restaurants or at their homes to push for what they want, the managers of the oligarchic empire which rules over us
are terrified that we will one day notice that there are a whole lot more of us than there are of them.
Right.
And that there's really nothing they could do to stop us if we decided to replace them with a system which benefits ordinary people instead of the elite few.
There you go.
I
That's
adore this
excellent.
woman, and
Yep.
I hope someday to meet her.
Yeah, no, she has a lot of good things to say. That's for sure. Yeah, and she gives the right perspective. That's what it's about. I mean, that's the union concept, right? Strength in numbers.
Yeah.
So
Yep. I'm not seeing what you're talking about, Brian. Said Hugh had a lot to say. Talking to Hugh. Okay. Yeah, we've had a lot to say. That's for sure. And the last one would be, we'll just finish out, then we'll close it. So this is from The Revolution Continues.
what is this?
So we have to shut it down. She's got a wonderful picture here. I don't know if you can see it yet.
I'm not
baby
sure.
formula and a teddy bear being thrown into the sea by Israel. I'm sick and tired of waiting. The fascists don't care who they kill and how they're screwing up the planet. It's time for us to take charge and shut it down. Ranson original photo by C.A. Matthews. After several late nights watching the live stream from the various boats of the Global Samud flotilla, cringing as the activists were pummeled with skunk water before being kidnapped by the Israeli Navy and taken to prison to be beaten and called terrorists, I'm in the mood for screaming. Shut it down. Please go subscribe to her too. She's great. The very last of the first flotilla boats was boarded by the Israelis by very early Friday morning Eastern time, but the next wave of boats to carry humanitarian aid to Gaza, a flotilla called 1,000 Madeleines to Gaza, had already launched and are on their way. Yeah.
I had not heard it was a huge number. That I'm going to have to go look that up. That could be really, that could be very inspiring. But yeah, that is the idea. That is absolutely the idea. And the flotillas did that. They had a few the first time around. They had more the next time. So yeah. And I do believe that influenced the ceasefire that's happening right now. I absolutely do.
Oh, and it distracted the incompetent and young, inexperienced, as Greg Stoker says, Israeli Navy, because he was talking about that on Mint Press, like
right.
They didn't know how to drive the boat.
Right.
It distracted them long enough that the Gazans got to fish.
Right.
So some people ate because of the flotilla.
Right.
And, we started out with like 1 or 2, and then it was 3, and then it was 50.
Right.
If it's going to be 1,000, they can't stop it. Yeah. And thank you, Brian, for inviting your friend Hugh. Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks everybody also for stopping in and checking out our news of the week. And we struggle, try to get all the machinations going, but we appreciate that everybody comes in and says hi and interacts in the chat too. Thank you so much.
We try to cover as much as we can and still get to all the stories we want you all to hear.
And we want to push
go
the
buy
t-shirts
the
one more time.
It's Rise, Resist, and Revolt. Green Party. Vote Green Party. Thanks everybody. Our guest on Wednesday is, you're gonna love her. Her name's Griselda Romero. And she is running to be the governor of Illinois, along with me as lieutenant governor.
Yes.
So it's going to be a fantastic interview. I'm so excited for you all to meet her.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. I love her. I loved her from the first moment I talked to her. She's amazing.
Yes, she is. She really is. She's one wonderful person. Amazing.
Okay.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Wednesday, 7:00.
All right. Central time.
Stay strong and help your Green Party.
Yes.
Because we're in it for the fight.
There you go.
An uprising, we're rising up. It's an uprising, we're rising up. It's an uprising. Fight the power. It's an uprising. Fight the power.